Hi guys. So today I was having an interesting chat a few days ago with a friend, and we were discussing, you know, the fundamentals of Hinduism and, this entire claim that eventually, all faiths more or less say the same thing and they lead us, the paths may be different, but the end goal uh, is the same. And for the longest time I actually kind of bought that, which means I had no issues going to a church and praying, doing Christmas. The father of my children, he used to do novena, and we had a cross in our temple, along with all the faith heads, like whether it's a Guru Nanak or Buddha, all of them were sort of in our mandir, and fundamentally actually walking the path that more or less everything kind of says the same thing. And that's like our fundamental mistake. And I had this, so when my son was born, when my first son, so this is an interesting story that should have clued me then how different we really are. But it's taken me so many years to kind of put the jigsaw puzzles together and kind of figure how different every faith is in their pillars that they hold as sacred, that upholds the entire belief system. So this was in 2002, and I was pregnant with my first son. And for those of y'all who know me well, you would know that uh, my ex-husband's half Muslim, so his mother is from Hyderabad, and so he had essentially one Muslim grandmother. His maternal grandmother was Muslim and his dadi was Hindu. So we had these two, diametrically opposite. And mind you, dadi was a victim of partition, whereas Nani would have been part of that dilemma as to whether Hyderabad should, actually be part of the Indian Union. Of course, Hyderabad didn't want to be, but that's another thing. So anyway, so as it happens, my parents were abroad, my in-laws were abroad, but this was like the first grandchild. Well, not the first for Nani. Naturally, being a Muslim, she has tons more grandchildren and great grandchild actually, and she already had great grandchildren, but for dadi it would have been the first, right? You know how Muslims are ahead in the numbers game. Anyway, both surprisingly were fond enough of me and very fond of Samir. So when it was the time for my delivery, they all decided to come to Bombay and be there. All right, and being the nice girl that I am, I was okay with it. Anyway, Vivek, in his smartness, decided not to come out on time. So I actually had Nani, Dadi, Muslim Nani and Hindu Dadi and Hindu Chacha at home, waiting for this arrival of this baby, and my in-laws are supposed to come down and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so one evening we're sitting at the dining table, and at that point there were all these ads going around of Aishwarya Rai endorsing, Divya Netra, the donation of one's eyes. So we were sitting at the, in the evening after dinner, just chatting around the table, and we were discussing this, and Chachu said it was a great idea, and I also said, yeah, I think it's wonderful. And Hindu Dadi also said, हाँ, it's a good idea, it's अच्छी बात है. But Nani pipes up and she says, but how can you donate your eyes? Because if you don't have your eyes, when you die and you go up to Jannat, how will you see Jannat? And she was really very, vehement about this. And then Hindu Dadi, coming from her spaces, but what do you need eyes for? Because once you're dead, your atma releases and you don't need the body. So what do you need your body for? And this discussion kind of went on with two diametrically opposite views, very in a very chilled way, actually discussing it. And you could understand how polar opposite the whole mindset is, where one group of people actually believe that your body has to be whole, that you have to be perfect in order for you to access the wonders of Jannat. Like from one physical space you're moving to another physical space, except that it's like moving from your house to a hotel or a resort, you know. And on the other hand, you have this intrinsic understanding that your soul is formless and it will merge with the divine, and once it merges with the divine, there is no question of any physicality or wanting to experience physicality in the same way that you do in your earthly form, right? And this discussion went on and on and on. It was hilarious. And Dadi was Nani, Muslim Valley Nani, was appalled at the thought that any one of us would consider donating our eyes. And so it was really, it's always been a fun anecdote for me, because I actually loved both of them. I mean, I think they were, I was appreciative of the fact that for Sameer's Muslim side of the family to make any kind of gesture towards us would have been, having to overcome many barriers. Of course, I think they always hoped that he would be Muslim, or that we would make the children Muslim or something. I don't know. But on a one-to-one basis, I really liked her and she was nice to me. I liked her a little bit more than maybe Sameer's Dadi, but Dadi was, through the divorce, was extremely supportive. So both women have been, from different worlds, have been wonderful in their individual spaces. But if you just look at a worldview, then you see the difference between the entrenched Islamic view vis-a-vis the entrenched Hindu view, and then you kind of understand that never the twain shall meet, and whatever meeting space we do have is only in the framework of a very objective physical space, which is why we Hindus, whenever we talk about Islam, or secularists talk about it, the only thing we can talk about is having kheer and biryani at Eid, because there is nothing further that you can actually extract and say this is one, that any one surah matches with any one shloka in the fundamentals of the belief. So we've kind of found a median point and said, okay, kheer and biryani will be like our common meeting point. And yet food, I mean, if you do not understand, there is the most superficial way of bonding to somebody, then I don't know what to say. But both these women are in their respective spaces. I'm assuming Dadi with her Nani with her eyes intact got to see her Jannat. Lord knows, I'm 110% sure she will not really like what she gets to see on that side, but it is her choice. And Dadi is either reborn, floating around on a planet, chilling as one of the millions of particles that form this incredible universe. So enjoy the story.